Oh.
Got it.
Now we're recording. Oh man, I'm exhausted. Hey everybody, welcome to the Musketeer Games on Aldgate Adventures.
That's what would be like if Casey Kasem was our GM.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey
dear.
everybody, welcome to Aldgate Adventures. Roll initiative. Who remembers where we left off?
We said goodbye to our good friend slash enemy slash brother
Enemy.
Allard, and then surprisingly this character who sounds just like him but is a dragon shows up.
They sound completely different.
He has an Empyrean accent, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And a growl.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Showed up and hold on.
And
Sounds
returned
like
to
Allard
you
after
the
he smoked
thing
too
you
much.
didn't want most.
The staff
The
was returned to
sword.
me, and I tried to get rid of it, and it turns out if it's not near me, I die.
No. Well,
Fuck that
probably just
staff.
get sick. But if they throw it into another dimension, then you die.
Yeah. No, it's
FYI.
attached to me. I hate it. But I love it.
Options.
I hate it. Basically, you just gave an addict a bag of Coke and just went, just don't use it, but keep it in your pocket.
But we
Don't
toned
use-
it down. So I like to think of it more like we gave you methadone.
Cool.
This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Why? Orlak would be like, Orlak would be sort of like, well, I assumed you wanted to keep her alive, so I thought I'd return it. But I mean, if you don't,
No,
we
I
can just
want to
take
stay
it back
alive.
now and she could perish. Maybe I mistook your fondness for this one.
Nope, it's fine. I have it. Thanks so much. It's on my hip.
Then what are you complaining about?
Clearly somebody has never had to deal with addiction.
Orlak is holding the
Oh,
sentient staff he's cursed with, and he's like, yes, certainly. I've never dealt with that.
Or
Then he licks his eyebrow. I don't know. His tongue is really long. Who knows? I had
okay.
a mental image of like a frog thing. Like, that would not be a dragon.
Not
So
quite.
do we know where we're heading next? I'm
We were
assuming we're
in-
not staying here.
We were in the town, and then we were going to leave as soon as the boat people were drunk enough, and continued down to Mournhaven.
Yes.
Demon infested Mournhaven. Because nothing bad could possibly happen down there.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
bad at all.
Because someone's mother's still alive. Not to bring that angst back up.
Nope. Nope. We're not going to talk about that one. We're just
No,
gonna.
gotta face it head on if you want to work through it. Says Willow the therapist.
You want to just sit down and talk about it with me?
Well, an interesting thing about like a show like Critical Role is that they do ask those questions of each other.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this? And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
And
of the
where do you
things
wanna-
I love
where do you
about
want to
that.
start us?
Well, first off, we'll start where we left off, where you were all kind of partying into the night and then long rest in the
Yes.
town.
This sounds nice.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ooh,
You
spell
all-
slots.
he comes in looking a little frazzled and says, I'm going to bed.
Good night.
Fuck you, I'm going to bed. Don't try to
Oh,
stop me.
hey.
I mean, good night.
So she leaves, and then Orlak turns to her goon and goes, I see she still has the tail. He's like, yes, the tail endures.
The tail endures.
Unfortunately.
Perhaps it's
And-
a parasite. Have we
Unless-
investigated whether or not it's a parasite?
And unless anybody wants to do anything else, drink into the night until you fall asleep, which really isn't much longer after this moment. You're all freaking exhausted from, hard to believe it was 1 day's worth of travel.
I'm fine.
And wake up the next morning feeling rested. Eliza, you realize that you've had this slow headache coming on for who knows how long. And today you wake up and there's no tension in your forehead. There's no pain in your head. It's just gone and you feel good physically.
Which immediately makes me very grumpy. So I stomp downstairs.
So
In a mood.
Orlak's already there. Like he's sitting at a table and he has like a, he's big, right? So he has this little book and he's holding sort of like, it's probably to us would be a bit like a little small book, but for him it's even smaller. And so he's just sort of peering in. He has like these little glasses on his nose.
Yeah, he does.
So she stomps downstairs, grabs coffee, probably not even asking about it, just kind of grabs whatever coffee is there and sits down.
Okay. The tavern keeper isn't going to put up a fight.
Not with grumpy pants over here.
Willow comes out of her room like, what the fuck, Eliza?
My headache went away.
And
Sorry.
that thing?
I pulled a sword and I go, my fucking headache went away.
Put it away.
Also, I'm assuming when I pull the sword, I feel better.
Oh, I'm
You
probably sure.
You feel strong.
Fuck.
Have you attuned to it?
No, I have not attuned to it.
All
I
right.
think I just noticed that like it
can
still affects me, even
Feel the strength in it, like it wants to commune with you.
Oh!
Right back.
All right.
Keep going.
Okay.
Don't stop leaving.
I don't even need this coffee anymore.
I'll take it.
You know what tastes better than coffee? The strength
answer
of
that.
50 men dying in front of you and soaking up everything they've ever loved. It sucks. Stomps back upstairs.
She's intense.
Guess we'll just eat breakfast by ourselves. It sounds like a lot. I can't imagine what she's going through.
Poor Willow has to deal with a lot of really grumpy people all of the time.
Just gotta be the ray of sunshine.
Sometimes literally when she casts that ray of sunshine spell.
Yeah. I mean, technically it's reflected off the moon, but you get it.
Yeah.
Because sunbeam isn't as good, even though it's a higher level spell.
Kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Situationally,
Yeah.
it's like that laser. There we go.
When it's like,
So Eliza just stormed off and went back upstairs after being angry about what was it? What did you say?
How
You know what
much
tastes better than breakfast?
you know what tastes better than coffee? Soaking up the souls and strength of 1,000 men who died at your own hands.
And then she stormed off.
So Orlak sort of raises a reptilian eyebrow at Willow and says, she could be handling it better.
I mean, I suppose it could be a lot worse too.
She could be a murderous rage monster.
Yeah. No, we would have to have a very difficult conversation. But I think we're in a good spot. Relatively.
He pulls a different notebook out of his bag and gets a quill and says, describe your optimistic feelings at this time. Starts taking notes. Do you feel your current level of optimism has something to do with your extraplanar visit, or were you this optimistic before?
I typically am a pretty optimistic person. I do try to lean towards realistic, but it's not hurting anybody to think on the positive side of things.
And you don't feel that your mind has been somehow influenced by the plane that you journeyed to?
I don't think so. Is there some kind of test we can run?
Many, but that is interesting.
Will it take long?
I'll devise a series of experiments. And probably at that, Ergoon goes,
Sips on coffee.
Yeah.
Takes a sip of Eliza's coffee.
Yep.
Speaking of.
So, there's not a bath in my room, right? Or like a shower or anything?
Fancy.
No, they do have a bath at the end of the hall. It is communal.
Are there shops in the town?
Yes.
Okay. So remember back in like the very first couple episodes when we discovered that Eliza has a little bit of a shopping problem?
Yeah. She's
No,
not allowed to
but
have her own.
I believe you.
She's gonna go feel better. So we don't need to play out the shopping trip because as long as it's okay with John, everything she brings back is useless trinkets. But
Why don't you narrate it?
So while everyone's getting ready, I think you go upstairs to find Eliza and she's gone because she decided to leave by the window. And
It's just a rope out the second story.
it's about 3 to 4 hours later. I think people are getting a little like you just discovered she was gone. You're considering going out to find her when she walks back in.
Oh, wait. Describe you at the first merchant, because I got something.
Okay.
There we go.
So she walks into the first merchant and she goes, I'm looking for clothing or baubles, earrings, rings, hats. Do you have hats?
Man, this is a bakery. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Perfect. Could I get a loaf of bread in the shape of a purse? And then I would like to stick more loaves of bread inside the loaf of bread. And if you could shape those like trinkets.
Sure. I mean, I could do a cool custom job. It might take me a couple hours, but yeah.
Never mind. Thank you. Goodbye. Actually, could I grab that cookie?
Yeah.
I'll pay you for it.
Yeah. Well, no, I figured. It's just a copper.
Okay. So she gives him a copper.
So when you go into your purse,
Mhm.
you suddenly realize it's slightly heavier than normal, and inside you find about 1,000 platinum pieces. Which is about 10,000 gold, by the way.
She knows exactly what she's going to say to Allard tonight.
Spent it all on pretzels.
Yes. No. So she's going to, and then she's going to turn around and she goes, do you do pretzels?
Sure. We had the point to the curly ones, and
Do you have sugar?
Ones. Sure. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah.
If I come back in 2 hours, can you make me 24 sugar pretzels?
Sure. Yeah.
That is
I mean,
what I want.
it's a little more for a rush job. I hope that's okay. And he quotes, I mean, it probably like nothing. It's like a silver. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bread.
Exactly.
This is a small economy. It's not like, yes, it's going to be 20,000 gold.
It will be a stretch, but I think I can handle that.
Okay, sure.
And then, so when Eliza comes back, she has 24 sugar pretzels. She is wearing a hat on a hat. And the hat on top has like feathers and like shiny baubles. It is ugly and gaudy and shiny. She's also wearing a headband, but like, instead of putting it, it's around here. She's got new earrings on her ears and like all over her ears. She's also carrying several bags of things. They're things like handbags, rings, bracelets, hair ties, silks, new shoes, but impractical shoes that she would never wear, like high heels.
Those court shoes with the big
Yes.
bows on them and the like super high heels.
And
Like
the
she
wooden
walks
man
in
wore in the
wearing
1700s.
those.
well,
she
and
walks
the
in
wooden
wearing-
patents, like the
What?
wooden patents that you strap onto your shoes so that your leather
Yes.
shoes don't get messed up in the mud. Like
Yes.
those ones that have like the thick sole that's like this high, the German ones.
She walks in basically just like in giant high heels, walking like a baby deer, carrying all of these things she would never wear.
Sword strapped across her back.
Sword strapped across her back, her side, and her bow still strapped across her back.
Have we become merchants? We're merchants now. Are we merchants now?
I think she
Is it-
just bought the town.
The captain, who's been a little anxious to get going, is like, oh, good. We have things. We are merchants now.
Oh no, these are all for me. I feel much better now.
Okay.
It,
One moment, and I pull out the bag, not the bag of holding, the
Haversack?
what?
Oh, the portable hole.
The portable hole. And I go, excuse me, shoot,
People back up.
unreel it, walk inside, drop all the stuff.
oh, Allard gave you that. Huh.
Do not
Orlak is
organize
very
it at all. So I am
Orlak is
meant-
checking out the edge, like he's like investigating, like where the two planes are meeting.
walk back up, fold it up, put it in
Oh.
my pocket. I'm ready to go. Oh, sugar
my
pretzels.
big goat.
And then I hand out sugar pretzels to everyone.
Oh, thank you. You did think of us while you were out.
You can borrow whatever you want from there.
The pretzels will be good. Thank you.
There are rings.
Have you always had an addictive personality?
Only when she's sad.
So
I
yeah,
see.
always.
Yeah.
Well, that happened. There's a lot to unpack there.
Quite literally, yes.
Oh no, I unpacked it. It's in here.
Of
Well,
course you did.
maybe you should pack it up again. We've got to get headed south if we want to get a
What are you
jump
guys
on the
waiting
day.
for? Let's go. Come on.
Oh my god, Eliza. All right.
This is an interesting plan. I'm fascinated to be a part of it.
Right. You you grab all of your crap out of your rooms and all of the stuff that's on the table. The bags from the local places, leftover sugar pretzels, etc., etc. Kids met just really she looks like she hasn't slept.
Hmm.
And just kind of out the door.
Matt,
Sugar pretzel?
coffee?
Bacon.
Can we get some
Does anyone
bacon
have a
coffee?
pig we can slaughter and cook?
Forget it. Sugar pretzel coffee. Dunk, dunk. She like walks off.
The pig roast would take a little too long.
I mean,
Someone could cast fireball. It wouldn't take that long.
Fireball would only cook the outside. It's not a sustained heat that would render the inside palatable to scaleless ones such as yourself. Now, if you would just eat them raw like any civilized person would, then you'd find that the delicacy on the tongue is greatly improved by the...
You're too pretty to talk sometimes. Let's go.
This is true. My scales are quite lovely.
You'll have to drop your scale care routine sometime.
You
You notice that actually Orlak isn't really using his like disguise bracelet at this point. He's just sort of like letting the Drake and all hang out, so as it were.
Once we get into Mournhaven,
also
he
has no
might want
pants.
to turn back into potato.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mhm.
You all hop aboard the ship. It sets sail. You unmoor yourself from the dock and let the not tide, the current carry you southward.
Now you were saying that on the way before you were attacked by shadow beasts, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Shadow beasts. And he like calls out his staff and he's like looking at all the intricate runes on it, like shadow beast, shadow beast, shadow beast. I can memorize that one. Scrying, temporal shunt, contingency. Oh, that's always useful. And he's just muttering to himself like various like weird spell things. Soul
So
cave.
you've come across these before? Do you know where they're from?
Well, probably the Shadowfell, or well, they come from outside the sphere. And like at the blank look, he's like, "All right." And actually,
We know they're not from round these parts.
nice Silverado reference. He casts minor illusion, and he creates basically like it looks like the planet. It's the planet of Aldgate. He goes, "This is Aldgate, the world upon which we live." And then he creates up around it like a kind of a shimmering sphere. The gods keep Aldgate safe from that which lies in the void. And then like around the sphere is all these like swirling like
Cthulhu
darkness
monster.
and demons and like, you know, it's almost like the little sparks as it touches the sphere. There's a constant battle in the ether between the gods and those that wish to destroy Aldgate. One aspect of this is the shadow realm. It's another plane that impinges upon our own, but the sphere protects us. But at times it weakens and things get through. Or foolish people pierce the veil and let things in.
Yes.
And that's why we have to kill Ben. What? Oh my God, he's right there. Ah!
You may try.
It'd be hard because you're very far away from Orlak was describing Willow foolishly asked a question about like the cosmology of the planes, and Orlak went into lecture mode.
Oh, wonderful.
That's fine. Willow likes learning.
And so he's created an illusion of Aldgate and then the sphere that surrounds Aldgate, just describing how the gods maintain the sphere to keep the demon kind out of the world. But that the shadow plane is one aspect of the demons attacking the world.
Ergun would be taking a small dagger and kind of picking at his teeth a little bit and like getting underneath his nails.
I mean, he probably learned this back when we like in school, and he's certainly heard Orlak talk about it a lot. It's like if he actually keep the spear lecture one more time.
Well, the advantage is, if anything, it's a reminder that Ergun does not have to actually remember any of this because it's all just your responsibility.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because no, we've tried. Ergun has tried to to regale some planes knowledge while we were away in the plains, and it didn't really work at all really well. So
Like he'd get partway through and be like, what was the middle part again? I just forget that part.
Mhm.
Maybe a lot of the things he told the group ended with, and then you'll have to ask Orlak when he gets back.
I'm not as studied as him.
Well, it's okay to have your own interests.
You-
You don't have to know and love all of the same things.
You all studied at the school. I studied the blade.
You do enjoy pantomime.
That was trying to be funny. Pantomime. No, not.
What was the thing that the theater?
Yes, and
And what was the theater you went to with the show?
Theater of the mind. Charades.
Oh my God, is Ergun a musical fan?
I like music. I like jolly people, and it seems that people who do musicals are jolly, or at the least very expressive, since
Wait.
they seem to sing whenever
Can-
they have a thought.
Can we make it canon that Draken have their own version of Broadway, and like musicals are a huge part of Draken like lore?
That would be funny. I would dig that. That'd be cool.
Or at least like some portion of Draken lore where like,
But they
yeah,
can't
like
do it.
musicals are how they tell their history, and they've turned into these broad giant productions where they basically have their own Broadway.
But maybe they can't do it very well, but they really enjoy it. So like they put on the productions, like you'll get Draken producers and stuff and directors, but they need the other people, the other races to actually do it. Like because singing is hard when your jaw doesn't move the right way.
Or their version of singing doesn't sound like good to us. So like if we cut to
it's like
the
throat singing.
watching it being like,
Oh, dude.
Like the
Think
Dark
how-
Crystal,
think how cool
where
it-
they're all, oh.
Yeah. Oh,
That'd be kind of neat. It's like you have opera, but instead it's like Mongolian like throat music instead.
yes, exactly.
What's that?
Well, also
Mongolian
remember, the
band?
Draken history is only a couple hundred years old when they were created to fight the orcs.
Mm.
So it's recent.
Ah.
This is a recent thing. So like, but you know, maybe it's some of it's like ancestral knowledge passed down from the dragon. But
Mhm.
what's that Mongolian rock band that plays all like the traditional
I
instruments?
know the one you're talking about.
I
I don't remember, but it's like the Pogues. It's their
like
version
that,
of the
but opera.
Pogues.
yes.
Mm. Mhm.
Anyway,
Mhm.
so I was investigating whether or not I had any spells that would be particularly useful against shadow creatures.
In our fight, radiant damage seemed to work.
Ah,
Wow.
yes, it would.
That helps.
Radiant damage is often useful against fiends and
Mm.
those of other planes.
Have we moved to the second day? Or like the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
day?
Let's catch Ben up. You guys. Well,
Long rested.
most people drank into the night. You all
Mhm.
got cats. No, I'm just kidding.
Mine's downstairs.
I don't. You got a long rest. Woke up, breakfast. Eliza had a little bit of a blow up about the sword and disappeared for a couple hours. Returned with bags and bags and bags of goodies. She went
Mm.
shopping.
Yes.
And some really very nice shoes. You all grabbed your stuff, got on board the ship, and are now headed south on the river.
Very good. Okay.
Headed to Mournhaven.
I also custom ordered some sugar pretzels and handed them out to everyone, and discovered, which I have not told anyone, and so you don't, I mean, you guys know this, your characters don't know this, but discovered that Allard snuck about, what did you say, 1,000 platinum into my bag?
10,000 gold.
10,000 gold into my bag.
Wow.
So I am now going
I'm gonna
to
leave you
try to
hanging.
sneakily pay for everything moving forward.
I enjoy that you are now that person. That's
Yes.
fun.
You are now sugar
The
mama.
problem is he gave the person with the addiction to shopping the gold.
Oh, I love the idea how like if he gives it to you and then you just somehow blow it.
Yeah.
I
Like Eliza's gonna buy a boat. No
This
more
boat.
this boat.
quarter life crisis.
Actually, I that's a good idea. I don't so Eliza walks up to the captain of the boat when no one else is around while we're on this journey, and they're figuring out the spells, and I go, so how much for the boat?
Sorry.
How much would it be to buy the boat? Just like out of curiosity.
Actually, 10,000 gold according to the book.
That's ridiculous.
This boat is my livelihood, and I mean, I've wanted to upgrade. You want to pay 15,000? I can give it to you today. We'll rename it anything you want. I'll even paint it on the side.
How much to just rename it?
I don't know.
It's like
What do
she
you
bought
want
a
to rename it?
stadium.
That's right. It's now the SoFi.
The SoFi Amazon ship.
Crypto
Some guy on
Dome.
the street the other day said, like, do you know where the SoFi Stadium is? And I went, is that Staples Center? Yeah.
That's fun.
How about 1,000 gold just to rename it?
What did you want to name it?
I'm gonna have to think on that, but I'll let you know.
I don't think this is a good thing to do, but I love that she is doing this.
Listen, Tiffany is not okay with this. Tiffany's like, stop spending money. But Eliza would spend $1,000 to name a boat Bodie McBoatface.
The best thing is that the ship captain has to be thinking, sure, we'll keep that name until you leave.
Exactly.
Easiest 1,000 gold she ever made. On the way, how many days are we away from Mournhaven?
From Mournhaven. Take a look at the map here. So
Shit. We discovered that Ergoon gets motion sick or gets seasick, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Dragoon's not
And-
having a
yeah.
good time.
And it's creeped out by puppies.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Luckily, there aren't many dogs around, so
No sea dogs.
No sea dogs.
seals, and they're in the ocean.
Oh, yeah, sea puppies.
Yeah.
You've gone just about halfway. So it's probably going to be another day or two.
Okay.
More likely two.
I'm going to spend 1,500 gold worth of components and cast contingency.
Oh.
Cast what?
Contingency.
What?
So
Mm,
I
what-
have to specify what would set it off. And in this case, if I'm hit by a spell or an attack that would drop me below 0, Dimension Door is going to kick in and move me away.
Ooh.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it again? Sorry.
So I have to cast. I can cast any 5th level spell with contingency, which is like a 6th level spell. And basically, I set the terms by which what would set it off.
Right. No, I get
In this
that. I
case-
just didn't hear what you
Oh.
were doing.
Dimension Door. If a spell or an attack is going to drop me below 0, it's going to Dimension Door me away.
Nice. Very cool.
Very cool.
It does cost me 1,500
Oh.
gold. So there you go. Oops.
You head south. As you're heading south, it's nowhere near as creepy and strange as it was getting this far. As if your victory at Whitesbridge somehow had an effect. Let's see.
Net positive effect.
Yeah, it's sunny.
It's good. Yay.
Yeah, it's not misty and unable to see. You can actually see quite a distance. Who wants to roll?
Nice.
Ben does.
You can do this. I can do it.
You didn't even see that bus that hit him.
What are you talking about?
Roll a
We pushed you in
D8.
front of that bus, whatever it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, you broke up there, John. What did you need me to roll?
I think you said a
Uh,
D8.
Sorry,
D8.
D10.
D10.
Just kidding.
You were right. I did
Yeah.
say D8, but I meant a D10.
That's
Well, funny enough, it is still an 8. So there you go.
works for me.
All right. And your thoughts about how sunny it is suddenly dashed when you see dark clouds on the horizon, large thunderheads, lightning inside them, moving your direction from the west. Storms coming.
Normally, I find this great sky dancing very enjoyable. Willow, help.
Already covered. Some kind of like ginger concoction.
I love this so much.
Dramamine. Slap
Within
Just give him a
about-
whole root.
Within about a half hour,
Put this on your-
the wind has started to pick up and the seas started getting rough.
Tiny ship was tossed.
Tiny ship was tossed. Thank you. Yeah, make a Constitution saving throw. There you go.
God. Yes. Okay. Total of 17.
17. You with a little help from Willow, like standing you at the front of the ship, saying just watch the horizon, watch the horizon. You just
Helps if you
breathe,
pick a spot way out there and just focus on that.
If there's like nets out on the side of the ship, Ergun will go there, and just kind of let the spray hit him in the fresh air while he's like munching on whatever kind of ginger concoction that Willow has.
It is definitely spicy.
Oh, Ergun's all about it. He loves it. It's great. Spicy
And
good.
shortly afterward, you just feel like the rain, and like the raindrops are big. This storm is not fucking around.
This is
And
not what I need. Die.
lightning starts to come down, and it is kind of it is around fall, if I recall. And so
Well,
this
chilly.
is very, very cold. I need everyone to make a survival check.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
we don't get that
Does-
one often.
Mm-mm.
Does the fire within Ergun keep him warm?
I got a 22.
I-
All right.
I got an 11.
I went to a
11.
game shop and I stopped myself, but I wanted to buy the most beautiful set of die. They were so heavy that I'd ever seen, but I didn't want to spend $50 on that damn set of die.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Also with
That's how much these were.
survival, I got
Nice.
a 19.
19,
Like they-
Ben?
Ergun got 18.
Like 80.
18. Willow, as everything is kind of bouncing everybody around, most people are kind of taking it easy, but you just feel so wet, so thrashed about. You're just like that cold, wet cat. And even though you're used to being, you know, on the shore, sea, and this is just too much, and you take a point of exhaustion, 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh man.
I mean, I get
Rip.
it.
Don't
But-
blame me. Ben rolled this.
I did buy these
Ooh.
because they were like 70 cents a piece.
Can I
Yeah,
see
there
them?
you go.
I clicked away.
So
This is my
Ooh.
Just wait until you find bespoke dice.
ugh, yeah, they were some of the prettiest dice I've ever seen. Oh,
Are
shiny
those scaled?
yeah.
dice.
Yeah, this is a green dragon die. I wanted to get the red one, but they were all out of reds, and I really like the green.
Green is
I
good.
just picked up a set that you can only see the numbers if you shine a black light on it.
Oh,
Otherwise,
geez.
Oh,
it's
that's
blank.
fucking dope.
I use it for dramatic dice rolls.
Whew.
And the storm goes into the night, but the crew seems to be used to this sort of thing around here, and managed to keep it under control, keep it from crashing. Though, you know, there are a few lines that get away. Nobody goes overboard, nobody dies. And as you move into the night, you can hear it's raining, but it's not, you know, it's not storming as much anymore
Right.
as you
The
start into
danger
your
has
second
passed.
day. Yes. The next day you wake up and you can see there's a lot of clouds in the sky, little off miles and miles and miles to the right. You can see like that one cloud that is dumping rain on some small town that way, or in the middle of nowhere. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty good day. Let's see here.
Orlak spends the morning sharpening his teeth and then applying scale polish because, you know, the usual maintenance the drag can do if they want to look their best.
Ergun will come up to Willow. So this I am still not doing great, but I'm doing better. Ginger, help. Yes.
Need
Less backup, but more the other. There is a new problem, Willow.
okay.
I consume a lot of this ginger as I need to, but then things don't go well out. And I'm curious if you can help me in this matter.
It's an area of D&D that we've never explored before
Pooping.
or wanted to.
You can just say you're constipated.
Mm,
I have something for that.
This is
With all my
good.
hopeless kit.
Mm,
Ginger does the other thing, doesn't it?
I mean, maybe
Maybe
it's the
not for
opposite in Draken. I don't know. We'll say it's the opposite for Draken.
I'm gonna
I
drink.
like to think that Draken food is typically on the spicier side of things.
Well,
Makes sense.
I'll take a couple minutes to like put something together.
This is great. Friends. Willow helps my butt and does wonderful.
That's what all of my druid circle would be so proud of.
Dragon butts.
Mhm.
I'm making dragon butts moves since 2022.
Going on my business card.
Eliza, has Willow helped loosen your butt as well when you need it? Is this something that she is good at?
Sure. I mean, I'm not the tight ass Kismet is. So.
Well, if we're saying tight ass, that's a whole other thing. And I also have something for that, but
And yet
Is
the
it weed?
tail, and yet the tail remains.
I'm not a Fey Lord. I can't undo that.
Kismet is only having tail problems because she
Eliza-
resents the tail. If she did not resent the tail and accepted it as a part of her, it would go better.
How far
Eliza
away are
suddenly
we?
Right.
stands up and walks to the front of the ship, to the bow of the ship, and stares ahead. We are approaching the lake Mournhaven is on, Lake Belmare. And in front of us, I say, guys, do you think they brought the committee to meet us? And there are dozens of ships around the shores of the river. Are they letting people in?
Is it possible to see what kind of ships they are or what flags they're flying?
Anyone have a thingy?
Wow, that could. I'm
Anyone
gonna,
have
I'm gonna hit the X card on this one.
Doubt.
Captain,
Sorry, I
can we
meant-
borrow your
Yeah.
your binoculars or
Use
your
my safe word.
your scry?
Yeah. Yeah, here.
I take it and
Make
I'm about
make a perception check. You're quite a ways away, so normally this would give you advantage, but you're far enough away that just regular.
14.
14. From the looks of it, you can see most of the ships are pointed away from you.
Mm-hmm.
They appear to be anchored near the shore of the river. You can see, you even catch a Blackgate flag on one of them. And you can see that there's a group of people on the western bank of the river.
Does it look like a barricade, like they're barricading the city, or like surrounding the city and trying to barricade? Or
No,
barricade
it actually
the
looks
river?
like there's room to get in between these ships. It looks like
They're just
they all pulled over.
yeah. And I'm gonna hand it over to Willow and say, it looks like they're parked on a river.
But it doesn't look like they're besieging the city, what's it called when you block off the city from
Yeah.
traffic?
They're not like, it's not a siege. It's like they're just not moving.
Blockade.
A
Blockade.
blockade.
A blockade.
The
Yeah,
word
this
is
does not look like a blockade.
Orlak would have remembered the word, but Brian doesn't.
Yeah.
He's very much smarter than I am.
It took me a while.
But it does look like a blockade. Well, perhaps we would do better entering. Should I do the twirling mustache thing? Perhaps we would do better entering from the land. We could slip into the city as opposed to arriving by ship.
I'm
Good,
gonna
Kenneth
turn to
Brown.
Captain. I'll go. Is there a safe way for us to stop?
I mean, yeah, we could lower the sails and throw out an anchor and take one of the longboats and go to shore. See what looks like. There's a group of people over there.
Could we pull up alongside the other ships and park like they are, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe back a little bit from them, just to be sure.
Not
We
just to be
could
sure. Huh.
Ah,
Huh.
We could, do we not want to just ask?
We could ask.
That's fine. Perhaps it's just more human subtleties.
No. Asking's a good idea.
I'd rather ask when we're on solid ground as opposed to this ship when with all those other ships could attack us.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy you're back.
I too enjoy being back. To shore then.
the captain
Please.
starts giving commands to drop the sails, and the sailors jump to and start pulling things down and securing them, and a couple of big burly sailors come up and ching, 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 as the you can kind of feel the ship boom, boom, boom. It is slowed down considerably, but there's still a current going, and captain's like, you might want to hold on to something. And as the ship kind of comes to a halt, and you're probably a good at least a half mile back from the rest of the ships, who've definitely taken notice of you, but they're not moving this way at all. The group of people you can see is like a small camp. It looks like they've set up some tables and pavilions. They drop one of the longboats into the water. You head down and they take you to shore. Do you want to go shore right here? Do you want to go down? How do you want to do this?
And perhaps we should go to shore here and then walk to see who these others are.
I like land. Land is good. Land soon, please.
As Ergun is in favor of land.
I am in favor of everybody in the party feeling better, but especially Ergun at this moment.
That ship has pretty sails.
You're not shopping right now, Eliza.
Let's go to land.
This is you.
I like how you so quickly you're just like store. She's shopping. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I could buy that ship.
You were here for this, Ben. So I reminded people that like when we were at the beginning and we didn't have a ton of money, Eliza wasn't allowed to carry around her own money because she would just buy things. Like she has a little bit of a shopping addiction. And then when she got the sword back, she's still like craving the sword and really annoyed that she can feel the power in it. So she's full on back in shopping addiction mode because she's replacing one addiction with another.
Yeah, I think that totally makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, but the problem is when Allard left, he dropped about 10,000 gold in her purse. And
opening the floodgates.
Yeah.
Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, he did.
Well, no, he thought she had a handle on it. He didn't realize how she would be because he thought the sword was gone. So for him, it was, he just didn't want to leave her without funds.
He did keep Eliza's wallet on him.
Does he know at all about what happened with Eliza and the sword?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have. I mean, but she hasn't been in shopping addiction for quite a while since she joined Musketeers, I would guess, mainly because they keep her away from stores.
And you probably
have fun.
Yeah, and you probably did, buy things for her, but it was also like, no.
We only need one of those.
You can't even carry that.
That isn't even your size. But I like it.
You get to shore, how do you want to approach?
Like the sharks and the jets in West Side Story.
Do you want to walk up? Do you want to boat up? Do you
Oh.
want to stealth up? Do you want to
I
run
think,
quickly?
first of
Do
all,
you want to set yourselves on fire?
Orlak, Ergun, would the two of you be willing to turn into Brad and Shad?
I suppose.
Probably be easier, seeing as they're at an infested place. Don't want anybody to get the wrong idea.
Ben, could I beg you to change your name? It keeps making me have to think. Thank you, sir. All right, and then
We're going to boat up, I assume.
Ergun
Well,
feels okay.
Ergun would prefer to walk up, but it doesn't make a difference one way or the other, I suppose, ultimately.
I mean, we might as well, but we can't take the boat. I mean, it's a ship's longboat. So if they drop us off, we can just like walk down the road, down the beach.
Okay, that's what we do then. They drop us off on shore and we walk along the way.
We'll take a nice jaunt. It's one of Willow's favorite things.
Eliza, make a survival check.
What? Oh, it's a natural 20.
Oh,
Nice.
I thought that was a
plus
reaction
3,
bad.
so 23.
nice. You guys pull off to the shore, and it's kind of like a steep bank right where you are, and you start jumping off and trying to like maneuver down the road, and then you see Eliza up on a path. Like,
since when?
What?
I
Like
looked
it's
away for like a second.
yeah, you just saw the path up there, and you got up there, and they're fucking around down by the water, almost falling in.
You guys, there's a path up here. It's like really easy to walk. Like they made it for us. Come on.
Thanks.
Ergun just like takes a moment to just kind of hug the ground.
So Eliza is not I would like to point out Eliza is wearing a very silly hat.
Not the two hats from before. Is it just one?
Also,
Is it like a tiny little top hat? Is it like, or
no,
like
a church lady on Sunday hat?
Gotcha.
Oh,
Huge. Got it.
So not quite musketeer, but
Something
church
that
lady.
only
Like
would
a
be
big
made,
straw, like one of those big medieval straw hats, like
Yeah.
the farmers would have.
but with flowers and laces and baubles and
Does
like
it
a
go with your
fake bird.
outfit?
Big fat and a
No.
big fake bird.
Yes.
It's not fake.
Yes. There's a bird in the hat. It wasn't with it originally. It
She just thought
attracted
it
a
needed
bird.
Yeah, it's a nest. It's a live bird.
There's a live bird with a nest in the hat.
Orlak taking notes. He's like, matters seem to be escalating at an awkward and disturbing rate.
It helps shield me from the sun.
Do you know you have a bird on your hat?
That's Sam.
I'm really glad to see you dabbling in animal friendship spells.
I mean,
Is-
I have speak with animals for the record.
Is this not a normal hat?
No, it's not. But Sam says we can't eat her eggs.
Are you talking to the bird now?
I do that all the time. It's not that weird.
What, like it's hard? Come on, let's talk to people.
Could you do that before we return the sword to you?
Yes.
I see.
Oh, yeah, that's not that new.
She does it more than I do. She's
Yeah,
actually much better at it than me.
Well, I can't say I went to school for it, but it kind of
Did.
whatever the equivalent is. Yeah.
I just kind of picked it up because I had to, but I spend so much time hunting that it feels wrong to talk to them.
enjoy the picture I just sent.
I have to save it first. Hang on.
And boom.
Oh,
It took me a second to get it.
For all you history nerds out there.
That's
no
right.
Temple
Oh,
in
that's
it.
a deep dive history joke right there.
Yeah.
You'll have to share that in the Discord so LJ gets it.
oh my God.
It is a fairly wooded area here. Actually, I guess it's lightly wooded. I was thinking of somewhere else. And there's kind of these rolling hills before this. The dancing river here opens up into Lake Balmer. You can see ahead of you this encampment. As you get closer, those of you with military backgrounds can see that this looks like when like generals and stuff are parlaying. There's like a couple of tents, there are rugs on the banks, there are some tables with chairs, but no troops, just these things. And you can see that there are, you know, some guards, some Marines standing around, but not like an army or anything like that.
Oh, this is interesting.
As you approach, you see some of them who you recognize as from the Blackgate Martial Academy. Remember those fully armored guys with the skull face? They have halberds and they're like, who goes there? State your business.
I definitely let Eliza and Willow go first. I mean, like, because, you know, Doughboy 1 is like, kind of just looks at them like, go on.
Kismet looks like she's hungover and is just dunking another sugar pretzel in some coffee. Where she's
there.
getting it, you don't know.
And I step up wearing a hat with a bird in it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like a seagull, I imagine.
Either a seagull or a chicken.
Oh.
Honestly, I kind of like the idea that it's a chicken that lays eggs that we could eat.
So wait, let me ask you this question, just out of character real quick. Are we to think that Eliza has gone crazy at this point? Because this is a new level for her.
This is, I mean, honestly, I think we might have gone a little, I probably went a little too far on the bird thing, but honestly, Eliza is working very hard, like overtime, to not pay attention to the sword.
So she's doing everything else in order to
She will do anything to not pay attention. So it's fine if you guys think she's crazy. She might be a little crazy, because if you had a demon trying to whisper to you constantly, and like for players' reference, John is sending me messages every once in a while, like Eliza's having to ignore some shit.
Or Orlak's like, cry me a fucking river. I've been doing this for like 30 years.
Yeah. So I've been doing it for a day and give me a moment to adjust. She hasn't adjusted yet. But she is still Eliza. So I'm going to say, hello. We are here on business from the king of
Orlak goes,
High keep.
I'm not sure if I want to let them know where we're actually from, or how do you currently feel about High Keep?
They seem to their stoic black armor does not seem to reveal any sort of expression.
Let me start over. So she takes the hat off and very gently places it on the ground. And she goes, I'm here on a delegation from the king of Blackgate. Not Blackgate, High Keep. I'm here on a delegation from the king of High Keep.
and then they killed us.
We have met with your leader before. and believe that we would be welcome back, as he sent us off on a task, which we.
These guys are from Blackgate, not Mournhaven.
Oh, shoot. Thank you.
Mhm.
Don't you remember us?
Well, we also met with the leader of Blackgate and got him shot. But he's probably over that. It only happened like 3 days ago.
There is also somebody they asked to be the leader of Blackgate. Just want
Right.
to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
A
know.
chancellor, somebody who has been asked.
So Eliza's gonna just
Yeah, I
kind of
haven't
elbow
tried.
Willow and go, I think you should take this one. I'm not doing well.
Better. Yeah, I'm Willow Hickling.
You
I
can
hope-
see from their body language, they have a reaction, not a negative one.
Okay.
Not yet.
Daughter of Oliver, sister of Holly and Leaf. I heard there was a similar problem from Blackgate here. That's our business here. I'm assuming that might be your business here too.
Perhaps it is. I lean over to Argoon. Perhaps we're all supposed to restate our lineage. Might be some sort of unscaled thing.
Sometimes it is.
This moment, she's the one that has the important.
You see, they kind of look at each other. One of them says, Captain Sharp, it's the Hickling.
The Hickling.
I know, I'm like a little offended.
You see, from this kind of circle of tents and rugs and fineries, this tall woman with the big, like, kind of cravat and a big hat, and a long coat, looks over and says, make a persuasion roll. Actually,
E? Okay.
yeah, with advantage. Although, wait a minute, I was gonna say with advantage because Eliza's helping.
Is she though?
Just regular
Yeah.
roll.
Little
Eliza's
one step
helping.
forward, one step back.
Eliza's like sitting in a corner, like she went and found a rock and she's
No
crouching.
corners,
down.
you're outside. She's looking for a corner.
I'm like Orlak will go and stand sort of protectively near her. Just ignore them.
I rolled a 1.
They're just in your head.
Do you have
Oh,
inspiration?
shit.
Do you have inspiration?
I do. I
Use
do.
it.
You want to use it?
Yes, please. Let's not make anyone any angrier.
If you roll a 1 again, we're gonna have to destroy this army.
I know. That is 22.
22.
There we go.
Better.
A little better.
What a turnaround. When I come back in.
And you see Captain Sharp look over. Let them in. They may be of use.
Thank you.
As we
And
walk
then,
in,
like,
I'm
turns around and then turns back and says, of use is so crude. I apologize for those words. I meant more, we may be able to help each other.
I was more offended at the maybe part, but okay.
You're good.
Eliza's gonna pick up the bird in the nest and kind of go off trail a little bit, put it down and be like, I have to leave you now. Walk away.
Am I-
We live here now. Fly, be free. Pop, 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 pop. Whoosh, into the water. Alligator.
No.
Alligators love chicken too.
They do love chicken.
Mm.
So Orlak looks over at Eliza, and then I sent you a message to.
Yep.
And I glance over at Eliza for a second, and it's almost like he stares at her for a few moments, and then he seems a little distracted for a while.
Yeah. And Eliza also seems slightly distracted, but kind of like she's listening to a podcast.
So
Doing dishes.
Behind
The sword
scenes-
has a podcast now.
So wait, hang on. Let me address the audience. Behind the scenes, Orlak is telepathically lecturing Eliza on Eldritch lore, spell theory, and planar knowledge in an effort to drown out the whispers of the sword.
Eliza's gonna know a disturbing amount of things she shouldn't know, and she's probably gonna get them all wrong. It makes her 0% more powerful, but a lot percent more confusing.
Orlak is like a dragon version of Colin Robinson.
Yeah.
Do that.
Well, except he's not boring exactly.
Yeah.
But he's
It's
not
almost like
exciting
Bill Nye. It's like
exactly.
if Bill Nye,
Boring.
if Bill Nye was a Draken, that would be sort of the vibe. Like he's like
and was a
uber
lot
smart.
drier.
Yeah, very dry.
I think by the end of this, Eliza's going to just like not quite have a wizard's amount of knowledge, like maybe not be able to like cast spells and things, but like if you were to ask her about Eldritch lore or like planar knowledge or magical symbols, I think
Like
maybe as we
A
start
little bit of Arcana.
a little bit of Arcana, as we start leveling up, John, I might start adding in some like,
You don't get that doesn't work that way anymore. But I think it's even better, Tiffany, because I think her lexicon's increasing,
yeah,
not necessarily her knowledge.
skill,
Like the
yeah,
words are happening, but she
Yeah.
doesn't get the facts right.
yeah.
So
Not
she's dropping
sticking.
things like
Oh my God.
like the coterminous planar inference.
Well, obviously,
they're
if
not
you think about
correct.
the conterminous planar inference, that's how that works. And Orlak's like,
That's not how that works at all.
you missed an entire book.
Everything you said is completely wrong. Or whatever.
Too bad you don't have any way to give her visual aids.
I have never
At the
seen
same time.
anyone be wrong in so many ways, all at the same time.
I just love it that like her like she suddenly has all these like 4-syllable words floating through her dialogue. You need like a techno babble generator, Tiffany. You can just start dropping things.
As you are welcomed into this circle, Captain Sharp says, may I introduce Captain Mendoza, Captain Fletcher, Captain Sevier, and Captain Woodley, all from these ships here.
Sorry, what were all their names again? I got Sharp and Mendoza.
What was the middle part?
Mendoza, Fletcher,
Fletcher.
Sevier, Sevier,
And Woodley.
Woodley. We're all different merchant captains from High Keep and the north. And well, this is Master Delvor here. Sent us a warning that anyone who goes in right now, any ship that goes in, is not coming out. And you see across from you, you hear, well, goddamn. And it's Marrick Delvor. I don't know if you remember who Marrick Delvor is.
I do.
Yeah.
Marrick.
Orlak doesn't, but Brian does.
Yeah.
Marrick Delvor was the guy, your contact in Mournhaven for
Hated a lard.
who
Yeah.
hated a lard,
Yep.
who was he was the guy who like gave you orders. He gave you the pavilion and ran the safe house.
He's a high keep spot.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was a spy
Yep.
for High Keep.
You met him in like the rugs tent or something.
Yeah. Yeah. His business was like tapestries and rugs.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was dark in there. I remember all of that.
Mhm. I remember him being very smug.
Yeah, I had sort of described him as like an old schoolmate of a lard, and they hated each other. Like, but it was
Yeah.
that like polite hatred. Like, we both acknowledge we hate each other, but we can't kill each other at this time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you look in roll 20,
Thank you.
put the portrait
Thank you.
of him.
Yes. Like that
And
little-
that's how you remember him looking a while ago, but right now he is not wearing these fineries. He is he looks dirty, unshaven. He's got cuts, what looks like possibly burn marks. He's cut his hair very short, and is wearing dark clothes, some like leather armor. He's got a short sword, a hand crossbow, and he's sitting there with two other figures who are also dressed similarly and in similar condition. And you see Kismet gets immediately nervous.
Do I recognize either of the people he's with?
Make a history check.
Come on. 12?
12. Nope. And
So
Kismet kind of throws her hood up and like does one of these and stays in the back of the group.
well, I'm going to greet him a bit. Hello, old friend.
Yes, friends.
Yes, interesting to see you again.
Very interesting. You are kind of on the shit list right now, aren't you?
Haven't we always been? At least on yours?
Well, not this short of shit list.
Indeed.
You're on the king's shit list.
So
We're on a path to repairing that.
Right,
It's not really
well,
something you need to worry about at this time, is it?
might be.
why is that?
I'm not sure exactly what you're doing here, who you're working for.
We are partially here because a large information sent us here. We are partially on a mission to repair our relationship with the king.
Partially,
We have some other agendas along the way, but
such as.
shopping.
Bird-related hats, apparently.
I see you've picked up some.
So the two doughboys stand there, and he says that, and Orlak goes, "I'm with him."
And I'm with him and them. Yeah, that's
They may not look like much, but they have proven to be quite helpful.
Juggling twins.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Heard things about you. Well, and Captain Sharp says, I'll vouch for them. They're from Blackgate and protected under my banner. For all they've done for us, if you would abandon them, I will vouch for them.
Thank you, Captain.
That's what that high that high roll did for you there. He says, convince me you can be trusted.
We have a much better idea of what you are up against here because of what we experienced in Blackgate.
Do you?
Yes,
What do you think is going on?
I believe it's an infestation of demons.
I believe it's the proper term is incursion.
Thank you.
Infestation implies more of an insectoid conduct, and this is a fiend from beyond the plains, which would be more of an incursion. And like everybody's looking at him, he's like, perhaps that's not important right now.
Thank you for the vocab.
No, I think that the designation does help.
It does.
Good to be
you.
precise.
Well, I can't say you're wrong. They're
You
all
can't,
fiendish
because I'm of course
creatures.
correct.
Oh,
Thank you. There are fiendish creatures inside there, but that is not entirely what's happening.
care to explain what is? Or do you even know yourself?
I've just spent the last 2 weeks inside those walls. I think I know what's going on.
Okay. My apologies.
Yet you still don't want to say them out loud.
I have learned to be very untrusting.
What
See,
can we do to
logical.
make you trust us? Or to help you? What can we do to help you trust us?
I don't know, what can you do to help me trust you? The king no longer trusts you. Why should I?
If it at all helps, he and I don't actually serve your king.
Doesn't actually help you at all.
Does it help to know that Allard trusts us?
That foppish bastard?
The king trusts him. Explicitly.
Yes, but I don't. I mean, I would trust him in this situation, but he's not with you, is he? So why should I trust the fallen musketeers?
All we want is to stop the incursion. We are suited for it.
We're not here to betray you. In fact, the thing the king is unhappy with us for was in some way actually trying to protect the king. Was trying to protect everyone we love. Was trying to prevent all of this. So even though you may not trust us as people, you can trust that we are not the type of people who would betray you. What, do you think we're going to side with the demons?
And if I don't tell you anything, and if we turn you out, what will you do? Does he have his hand raised?
Yes. Oh, go ahead,
The
Ergun.
thing he does, yeah.
It felt customary to raise hand so I can speak. So to respect your speech and her speech, and this is besides the point. I find it strange and perhaps equally untrustworthy of you if you would not give someone the opportunity to slay a demon. Why?
If we
Why
turn
would
you out
you?
from here, what would you do?
I don't
There,
think
there's demons. She has weapon. I have weapon. They have weapon. We kill demon. I'm confused. Do you want demons not dead?
Well, that's a good idea, Ergun. Talk slowly. Clearly, they don't understand.
Demon not dead typically means more small humans dead.
okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't keep. I couldn't keep.
Ergun gets closer and closer to him. It's like, do you small?
As you start getting closer, you see the other two figures start to stand up.
Whoa. Ergun, it is not customary within our culture to get close to others. They see it as threatening. And you don't want to threaten them because we're not looking to fight.
I was intentionally trying to threaten the man who wanted small humans dead.
Okay, well, if we're not looking to fight them.
Perhaps disagreeable human. Perhaps you could just tell us the thing that you are keeping to yourself so that
I'm
we
gonna
would
lean
have
over to
more
Willow and
knowledge
be like, I know
going into
I'm-
this.
I know I'm bad at interpersonal communication, but maybe we don't bring them along anymore for this sort of thing.
There's some way that we could just.
Untrusting human. Perhaps you could just tell us the thing that you seem to want to tell us. That way we can act with the appropriate level of information.
So far, you haven't said anything to make me want to. Eliza, Willow, if I turn you out today, what would you do?
We
Where
would
would you
like-
go?
Well, I don't like telling you what our plans are,
We're going to go into the city
but likely we would go into the city
and kill demons
and kill demons.
That is the explicit reason why we are here.
and break your mother out of an interdimensional prison.
Shh.
Okay.
Who wants to make a persuasion roll?
I will.
Ergun will make an intimidation roll.
My persuasion is +6.
Okay, go.
Mine's an 8, which really seems wrong.
Ergun, make an intimidation roll, and Eliza take advantage.
Take advantage. Okay.
Do it.
I mean, Ergun.
Oh,
doesn't
thank
have
God.
Ergun doesn't have any pluses to this for intimidation,
Mhm.
so it's just going to be a flat 19. Cool, 19.
Mine is a 22.
18 and a 22.
It was going to be a 7. It's a 22.
Between the intimidation, your insistence that you don't need them and you can go inside, and Captain Sharp's vouching, he turns around, gives a hand to his cohorts, and they put their weapons away and sit back down. All right. But if the king asks, you haven't seen me. All right? No, wait. If the king asks me, I'll let him know what you did here. How about that?
I
Fine.
don't
about-
care what you do.
I'm not talking to you, Draken.
Yes, you were. You were conversing to all of us. We're standing in a group, and your words were directed toward all of us as a group. That's how
Orlak,
communication works.
Orlak, take notes. Just take notes.
He's not saying anything interesting.
Let
Yeah,
him
I'm
speak.
hoping he will.
You have to
And
give him space
pretend.
to speak. Orlak, shh. I'm sorry.
Why don't you have a seat? We'll get you caught up.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sit down. There are servants who offer you tea or something stronger.
Take a little shot of whiskey before this meeting.
So let me tell you, 2 weeks ago, something was retrieved for the Chancellor. Shortly after that, the city fell. Now, there is some fiendish involvement. But what happened was, it appears as though there is some sort of prison underneath the palace. You mentioned an extra-dimensional prison? Well, the door has been blown wide open, and the beings that were inside all came flooding out.
Mm.
The most dangerous criminals ever to walk the face of this planet, or at least in modern history. Some of them fled. I believe one of them, who is an unseelie court lord, went north. He cast his mists over the area.
We may have
Um,
encountered those.
We killed it, didn't we?
We did.
Hmm.
Thulan. You killed Thulan.
I was not.
White, black, noseless.
That one drove a sword into it, yes.
Smell.
Hmm?
You said he had no nose.
Well, then, it smells terribly.
Interesting.
You, well, then you've already taken one step towards releasing everyone. Many of those inside the prison fled the city, but some of them have remained and claimed parts of it as their own. Jasper Cotton, the witch Drusilla Bane, still run the royal quarter. There's a fire giant named Viaskazi, who has summoned fire elementals to help her guard the perimeter of the city and the gatekeep district. Eudaxus the Mad, a lich from hundreds of years ago. He has the Swordbreak quarter, you know, the nice section of town. Dekarv, a beholder gone mad. He holds the Bayside Bazaar.
Can you
Now-
send us all of this? Because I'm not going to remember.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. I'm like,
I can't take notes.
Says, I have allied myself and the rest of the Unseen Company with members of the Gambit and Whisper. We have all been working together to help evacuate some people, try to fight back, and have been gathering a bit of a resistance under the city. As the Gambit and Whisper know it better than I do, they are perfectly equipped to run safe houses. So we're doing our best to fight back. And what we do know is that none of these entities like each other.
It'd be too easy.
Any action that we have taken against any single one of them has gone unanswered by the others. But any movement towards the palace itself, it's as if they were all portaled there instantly. And then we're fighting all of them at once.
They are bound to protect the Chancellor.
Yes, we need to take them out individually before we make the move toward the castle itself. John, do any of those names ring a bell in terms of plainer knowledge that I might have of like, oh yeah, these are things we really need to worry about?
History or Arcana? Make a choose. Make
I'll
Make some
do-
shoes.
I'll do Arcana.
Cobble, cobble, cobble.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You have certainly heard, you've definitely heard of Eudaxus the Mad. Let's see.
I would
here.
guess that these are names that have like they're
Boogeyman.
sprinkled throughout the lore, but it's like probably had like this was probably before the group that I'm currently a member of got involved with stuff, and it's like oh yes, it was banished. They probably call it like, oh yes, was banished at some point, but never referred to this particular prison.
Right. Yeah, Eudaxus was a powerful necromancer from Blackgate. A half-century ago, he raised an army of undead and nearly conquered the whole of the southern Midlands, seeking out ancient relics and knowledge to make him immortal. And he succeeded. Is Ben here?
Yeah, he said he's listening. He's getting
okay. Good.
Cool.
He transcended beyond life to become a lich, who, harnessing the power of the Deadlands, created vampires, mummies, ghast schools, and all sorts of nasties who plagued the realms until this day. He was defeated by the armies of High Keep and led by a group of sellswords. But they were unable to destroy him permanently, as his phylactery is well hidden. So they transported him to the jail, where he has been left powerless for centuries, plotting his revenge.
John, what's your website? I'm trying to find it, but I don't.
Aldgate RPG.
Thank you.
At some point, if you just write up the names and give it to us, that would I'd like to add them to my notes without taking a lot of game time with you spelling things to me. So Orlak,
it's in chat.
Orlak goes, well, that's bad. I am familiar with some of those names. They're all entities and beings of power that we thought vanished. Apparently, they were instead imprisoned.
Technically, I think you could call them banished. It wasn't just a prison, it was an extra dimensional place.
Yes, but you'd technically be wrong.
They were banished to that other plane.
They were imprisoned,
imprisoned.
In a pocket plane between our plane and the next one.
Yes, they were banished
Ocean's
to that plane.
equilibrium.
That's how banishment works. You see,
we don't need to get
That's
into the
not how
details.
banishment works at all.
Banishment, imprisonment. Oh my God.
The extraplanar definition makes from this going by the Disappear method. Of course, that would be correct. However, Ashoshan's equilibrium, a much more modern study, suggests that it's not actually banishment unless you pass.
Descartes was a beholder who went mad and went about destroying wizards and taking all of their things, trying to gain as much power as he could. But one of them banished him to the prison, where the jailer chucked him into a cell to keep him. Now, not everything in there has been let out. Some has been kept as pets or something by the powers that be. We're not exactly sure what's going on.
So some do remain imprisoned.
Yes, in the banishment plane.
I'm going to try to lighten the mood and make a joke to, oh shoot, what's his name?
Marrick.
Marrick. Thank you. I knew it started with an M. And I'm just gonna be like, almost makes you miss a lard, huh? And I get a 17 on whatever I just rolled there.
What were you trying to do? Sorry.
I was trying to lighten the mood. So in my mind, I rolled persuasion to be like, please stop arguing with him. He's a nerd. He doesn't understand. So I rolled a 17 plus 6 to try to lighten the mood.
Gotcha.
That's rich coming from Eliza.
That's fun. Well, the funny part is Orlak does understand.
Yes.
He just doesn't care. He's
It's
he's wrong, so he needs to be corrected.
Right,
has a
which
difference in
Eliza
opinion.
understands, because Eliza also gets that mood, but now because everything is shifted, Kismet's keeping quiet, Allard is gone. It's now on her to do the thing that she's really bad at doing. So
Our course does seem clear. Go in, kill the individual entities so that they can not prevent us from getting to the palace.
but that could take
Whereupon we will
weeks.
enter the palace to the prison, free your mother, seal it back up so no more creatures escape, and destroy the thing that opened. Just
But that could take
logically
weeks. Wouldn't it be easier to,
take them
there-
on all at once.
not easier, but
Faster,
I
more
don't
resistance.
quite-
if we could use your network, and I'm gonna look at Marrick if I can go, if we can use your network and go to attack the palace, it would draw them all into the same place. And if we have enough to fight them, we can at least hold them off for long enough to get inside and find out what it is that's drawing them there.
Eliza, it's a lich and a beholder. I believe that we could take on one of them individually, but all together plus Drusilla Bane and the fire giant, I think all at once it's more suicidal than strategic.
Oh, you're right.
It's quicker, yes, we will certainly die very quickly.
Is there a way,
Um,
Orlak, to banish them to another plane
Yes.
instead of fighting them?
Oh, yes, there is. Though that too has a certain element of risk. I can banish them with the crook,
Mhm.
though there is a chance of adverse side effects.
Would you prefer to kill them or banish them?
Hmm.
We will rely on your wisdom here.
He's thinking.
I got that from this.
Oh,
Could have been something up there. Well, there's a 10% chance of side effects if we try to banish them. If the banishment works, slaying them is, if possible, maybe easier. I don't feel any particular desire to keep them alive, or with the case of the lich, re-dead.
Can we,
I'm not well versed on religion.
can you prepare the spell to banish them? And if we end up needing to use it,
Oh, of course.
be ready to perform. Well, Marrick, how do you feel about allowing us to kill everyone that you hate? Well, not everyone.
Wait, we're really asking permission?
We need his help.
Do we?
They can get us in.
There's a wall. We'll just go through there.
The wall has a fire giant
And not all of
Once
us
he's
can
dead.
just like
And
go
elementals.
for it.
and elementals.
And
Also, I'm kind of mad at Allard right now, and I want this guy to like me because it'll piss Allard off. And I wink at him.
why are you winking at me?
He kind of laughs. He's like,
Oh, you're winking at Marrick, not Orlak.
Also, I rolled a 22. So
yeah,
This is
like
true.
a noble endeavor. Sure, madam.
Eliza is trying to flirt, by the way. I don't know if it's actually coming off as flirting, but she's trying.
I do need to mention one small low percentage chance.
Yes?
This crook was once used against Igwigi, the Witch Queen, and was damaged. So in that side effect percentage I mentioned, there's additionally a 10% chance of the 10% chance that it could create a 50-foot diameter portal that would release everything that it's ever banished. That would be bad.
It sounds pretty awful, yeah.
Maybe we just kill them.
And that's
But a
something we
10%
can
chance
all
of 10% is really just a 1% chance. So
Right,
the
but
odds
it's
are
still a
fairly in our
chance.
favor.
Right. So then we only
Mathematically
use it
speaking.
if we have to not die.
Yes, not dying is, of course, the goal.
Mhm. How about this? If there is a 98% chance one of us is going to die, we risk the 1% chance that everyone dies.
With a certain margin of error, depending on the individual guess.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
We can get you.
give a thumbs up.
We can secret you. Oh, it might be just that you have the
Oh, yeah.
it has like a motion detector. Yeah.
I think I turned it off. There we
Yeah.
go.
We can sneak you inside the city if you so desire. We've found a way of getting in and out that they apparently haven't discovered yet.
I like that idea.
We can give you a place to rest in between battles should you need it. We can do a small diversionary
I don't want
attack
you
if
to
you
risk.
need one, but we do not have the enough to stand at a toe-to-toe battle.
We don't want your men to risk your network.
But perhaps if they were to engage the others in a distraction as we took out each one individually,
Yes.
that way we don't have to deal with two at the same time.
They seem to revel in watching the other ones get picked on.
Yeah, they don't. You said they don't care.
That might
They-
change once we start killing them.
It might. We could
Prepared for anything.
certainly do that. The carve, the beholder. He is a loose cannon. He's unpredictable, as you can imagine a mad beholder would be.
Yeah.
Perhaps it can be negotiated with.
I think I'm
Even the
getting a sense of
mad still
humor.
have their desires.
Hmm.
But they have so many eyes.
It's the middle one that we need to worry about.
Lifetime supply of monocles, perhaps?
I knew of a beholder that was inordinately fond of a goldfish. Perhaps this one is similarly afflicted and has a desire that it can't be met. Perhaps as we investigate his area, that might become clear.
I find that the easiest and most simple thing that we can do would just be to kill them individually. Make them fear us instead of everyone fear of them.
Tensor's constant, yes.
Plus the killing thing we can all participate in. Not everyone has the power to banish these things.
Oh, I'm sure there's minions and followers and constructs to stand in our way. There'll be something for everyone to do. Ergun, remember the southern incursion about 10 years ago? Good times.
Was a grand time.
I bet.
Mine came over the walls like a wave. Literally came over the walls. They could walk on the walls. It was very three-dimensional.
They broke upon my steel.
Are they still in potato form?
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably more disturbing that way.
Yeah. Marrick seems to recognize that they are Draken, though, as he did refer to Orlak as Draken.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
noticed
that too.
Oh, did he? I totally missed it when he said that.
Mhm.
You were busy lecturing, I think.
Yep.
She should know better than to interrupt a lecture in process. I mean, it's like really no respect.
No respect. No respect at all.
It's gonna get an F on that quiz.
I know.
The fire giant might be the first one, might be our easiest target.
Especially if they're protecting the perimeter.
Or
help
we
us
could
get more men in.
sneak past them.
Even if we did, though, we'd still have to fight it when we go after the keep, because they will, if they are magically summoned.
Marrick, did they seem to know that you were approaching the castle, even if you weren't approaching it to fight, but were sneaking in?
It seemed as though once someone was discovered, that's when they showed up. Like somebody had to ring the bell.
So someone could quietly get through if they were able to sneak past everyone and everything and no one saw them.
Yes. So far, we've lost 3 people trying to do that.
Understood.
And those are 3 whisper assassins. That's what they do.
One by one it is then.
I like to think that there are actually crackers and peanut butter on the snack tray, and Ergun is literally just making.
I think that's totally fine for Ergun. Like, like this whole conversation of like what we should do, and Ergun's just like, let's just go in and kill them. Like, I'm just snacking. This seems like the easiest thing we can do.
Murder, murder, murder.
That was our motto for quite a while.
Murder, murder, murder. The my old gaming group in the 90s was like, that's your plan, get them.
Yeah. Problem.
That seems to end up being what most what most planning ends up turning into, is like, we don't know what we're going to do till we get there, so let's just do it.
It's the best.
When we defeat the fire giant, I will need a sample of its inner core. Also, the lich, a bone fragment, would be useful for my ongoing studies, and the beholder, the eye, can be used for many different components.
Oh, for sure.
As soon as we survive those battles, you may take those pieces.
Well, I wasn't asking, I was just stating.
Great.
So Ergun, like, because I'm still standing next to Eliza, and he, like, without looking, sort of reaches out and takes her hand off the sword and puts it puts it back on her other hand. It's like getting your kid to stop picking at their, picking at like acne. It's just like,
Stop.
spray bottle.
So would you like us to escort you back? Would you like us to sneak you into the city, or do you plan on meeting Viaskazi head to head at the gates?
I say we get snuck in instead of announcing our arrival.
The element of surprise will be crucial, I think.
And then, which do we wish to slay first? Then
I think Viaskazi has to go first. That's the fire giant.
Agreed.
very well.
So do we get started now? Or would you find folks like a bit of a rest first?
Are you talking to me or to them? I don't. I can't tell.
Oh, sorry, you, Marrick, and your establishment.
We're used to being tired. We'll be fine. Speaking of which, Willow, you still have a point of exhaustion, so.
I know.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I get it.
If you guys want to rest, I'm good with that. I can just keep going, but I'm thinking of you guys.
Yeah, whatever you guys want. Yep, I can rally. That's okay.
Well, should we go in at night under the cover of darkness? In which case, she looks at Willow and she goes, "It may be wise for rest."
Ergun looks at Willow and obviously sees that she's exhausted and will begin to exacerbate his motion sickness from before. I'm still settling back to land. Rest sounds good.
As he's been just totally destroying their crackers and peanut butter bar.
I mean, it makes him feel better, probably, but yes.
All right. If you'll excuse me a moment, Marrick.
Is
Then
there a place we can rest?
Lord Sharp says, or Lord Sharp. Captain Sharp says, yes, we can give you a tent, beds, bedding.
Perhaps, well, it's like daytime, right, John?
Mhm.
Then perhaps we shall go in at night.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 p.m.
Is it enough time for Willow
Yeah.
to get rid of her exhaustion if we, I guess take a long rest is like 8 hours and it'd be night by the time we finish that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be about 10 or so. If you guys wanted to like head out around midnight or anything like that, you'd probably be good.
well,
The
whenever
nice thing
Marrick
is that
thinks
you
he can
could-
get us in there.
You'd still be able to see a fire giant at night.
Yeah, that's the nice part.
We're hoping he can't see us is more.
Sure.
I have Viaskazi's female. Sounds good.
It's hard to tell,
I'm-
distracted by the fire and all.
So where's this tent?
Come right this way. She just turns and goes, Lieutenant? Yes, Captain. And you see a guy goes inside and comes out with a bunch of personal belongings, opens the door. Please. It's the least I can do as a gentleman.
Oh, okay.
I can sleep on the ship. We have plenty of room.
I would like more gentlemen in my life. This sounds nice. Thank you for you. And then Ergun will take like the bin of like peanut butter and crackers and then just follow.
And then before Orlak leaves, he goes, he'll go, he actually pulls a book out of his bag and he goes, hands it over to the disagreeable human and says, here, educate yourself, and leaves.
I want to believe that Ergun has struck up a relationship with a with one of the servants who loves the fact that just keeps like, oh, here's more, and like comes falling behind with like a basket full of crackers in one hand and a huge bowl.
The only
of
one who's ever
peanut
liked
butter.
these.
Yeah, exactly. They told me I was dumb for wanting to bring these along. Yeah, it's a halfling. It's a little rotund halfling. Big attitude.
This will show him back home.
Mhm. I knew one day that someone was gonna really appreciate my crackers and peanut butter. Made it myself, I did.
Oh,
I like to think that Aragoon is basically just Brad Pitt, just continuously eating, a little snacking on something.
my God.
This pavilion it's large, and there are a couple of the other junior officers who clear out their belongings and are, glad to hand over their beds. So I'm imagining some of them are like, "Oh yes, please, sir, take my cot," and you sit on it and go,
Yeah. I like how Aragoon walks up to them and goes like, "Move." Shit.
So, but of course, sir.
Right.
Like it's the afternoon. Somewhere along those lines, you kind of lost track of Kismet.
Mm.
He's
And
there.
when you come inside, you can see that she's just kind of like sitting on one of the beds.
Kismet, is this something we need to talk about?
No,
I did hear that Marrick
everything's
is working with.
fine. What?
I mean, I know the name Whisper is something of importance to you.
Kismet, it is not good. So sorry, I'm still getting used to. Can I not be in human form anymore? The peanut.
The peanut?
It's-
You can remove the human form now. We are in a private quarter.
just dissolves away. This is much better. Perfect. Kismet, why
Just imagine
lie
it
to
like-
friends?
Like the Bangalores, just kind of sheds.
Yeah, like Orlak is like, "Oh, skin is so strange. Much better to have scales."
I don't think it is wise to talk about it here.
Okay.
We can talk about scales anytime. It's a fascinating subject.
No, you can talk about your scales whenever you feel like, and you do. Talking about the other thing that you asked me about.
Talk
Sorry.
about it.
Your tail. We can talk about your tail if you wish.
Flick, flick, like an angry cat.
I'm familiar with that.
Olak, you're making it angry.
Have you considered that your tail may have some sort of fey component to it? Perhaps it is semi-sentient.
You don't say.
Yes,
And we thought
Chris says
Eliza
that.
was autistic.
he's not autistic. He's just hyper intelligent. There's a fine line.
They
Also,
often go hand in hand.
I kind of think that Orlak enjoys doing it this way.
Yes.
Like he knows perfectly well how he should act. He just
Yeah.
doesn't really have time for it.
Well, I do like the moments where he's like, "Oh, right. I should greet you in the traditional greeting, right?
Hello,
How are
stupid
you?"
human. Greetings, ignorant human, ignorant flesh thing.
Hello, how is your family unit?
I'm Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia.
I'm Tiberius Stormwind
Stormwind
from
from
Draconia.
Member of the Vox Machina over at Great Skull Keep. Right.
Well,
Let's prepare to fight demons and giants and beholders, liches.
yes.
No
Demons
doubt we'll
and
have interesting
beholders and
magic.
witches. Oh my.
Mhm.
They no doubt will have interesting magics on them. Here's when we fight each will require a different set of tactics and skills. And I kind of look over at Kismet like,
What?
strategy, tactics.
Yes, we should use those both. I imagine fire giants don't use fire, but hit it in the face. Can't reach the face somewhere lower.
No, they do use fire. Don't use fire on them.
That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
No, that's not the way that you interpreted it, but you know what the fuck I meant.
I sure did.
I'm telepathic, but I can't read minds.
Doesn't make any sense.
I can project thoughts. I don't read them.
My God. Okay, so we're going to use water or cold damage.
Eliza, who has been projecting thoughts at Orlak the entire day.
Well, no, I mean, I can like, if I initiate a conversation, I get shit back, but it's not, I can't like be like,
What
he
is
really
the
wants a
thought?
sandwich. I mean,
Yes.
Right, right.
yes, cold damage. Of course, physical damage would work.
Mhm.
Fire elementals are dangerous. We will need some sort of protection against fire.
They are hot.
I think
Willow, you have elemental protective spells, yes?
Probably.
Sorry, I
have a potion
I was
of
not as
lightning
precise as I could have been. Willow, you have elemental protective spells. We will need them.
Happy.
Ergun, we'll need you to kill things.
Yes.
Oh, this-
So good.
So good.
Great. Well, I believe we can take our rest and sleep on our plan here and wake up ready to go.
You look tired. You should sleep.
Yes, I am. Thank you. It's a lot.
This bed here. Go here.
Yeah.
And Ergun will heat up a blanket and lay it on her, and then we'll tuck her in.
Toast. Good night. Okay.
She goes out. What about the rest of you?
She gone.
I think we all I don't need to rest, but I'm gonna rest.
At least chill.
Chill.
I do some light reading.
And then what? Sorry, what do you say, Orlak?
Oh, I just do some light reading.
Okay. So Orlak is reading, and as he begins reading, I'm gonna have him be like, could you read into my head?
Very well.
Okay. So.
V's Principle of Arcane Artillery, Chapter 1, Page 1.
Fantastic. Well, you all spend the next quite a few hours chilling in this tent. You can hear things going on outside, but that you are well guarded, and things go by peaceably. You do hear what sounds like some more captains coming up and being briefed on the fact that any ship that lands at Mournhaven does not come out of Mournhaven. And 8 hours later, Willow, you don't feel so exhausted anymore. Huh?
Wow. Nothing like a good 8 hours. Am I right?
Yes.
The biggest fantasy about D&D, that you could go through all this trauma and drama and just fall right asleep and get 8 hours of
perfectly
sleep.
fine.
I am surprised you don't have to roll for sleep.
Yeah, just getting to sleep. Like, I have a slight disagreement with somebody and I can't sleep for hours.
Well, and it used to be that you didn't heal completely when you
Mhm.
did a rest. You only healed like a little bit. And even before that, it used to be that if anything interrupted your sleep, like you couldn't memorize spells, and it basically buggered anything that you were trying to get out of that.
Yeah, and it
So
used to
DMs
be
would
like one hit point a night.
Yeah. And GMs would automatically attack you at night just to get you so that you wouldn't have to, so that you couldn't memorize spells in the morning.
The one thing that I wish that D&D had is that there would be, I feel like healing is a little too easy, in my opinion. Like, there's no like grievous wounds that you like, oh shit, like you like broke your leg. It's like auto healed because there's healing spells.
There is a table.
Makes sense.
The only thing that they have that healing won't heal is like a severed limb. Like if you get your hand cut off, healing doesn't help. I mean, healing will stop it from bleeding, but it doesn't reattach your hand.
Yeah.
There's
And you have to get
lingering
regeneration.
injury table.
Yeah.
I didn't
you
realize
could-
that. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It just would be interesting to have like,
Yeah, it's something like if
just-
you take a quarter of your hit points or more or something like that, then you get to roll on that table. And it might be nothing, or it might be that you lost an arm or an eye or something like that.
But I think what he's saying is more that like if like what happens if like it'd be interesting to have a condition or an injury that like, yeah, you can heal up, you're not going to die, but you're
I
still
think
like,
it just would
you're
be,
not 100% coming out of it.
Yeah.
it would be nice to have a bit more consequence from either like being near to death or like, oh, that one battle was like really strong or like really bad. But
Scars
you sleep
or
it
whatever.
off, you sleep it over a night and you're fine, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Whereas like, I mean, I feel like it makes some encounters feel a little less memorable and feel and damage just feel a bit more trivial.
It's
Yeah, I agree.
this current version of D&D definitely skewed more toward cutting down the minutia, because they used to have rules like that, but
Yeah.
this 5e went for very light hand on stuff. But I know GMs who do that stuff all the time, and it's like, you know, if you drop to 0 and you go into death saves, like you can come out of it with like PTSD or some sort of like, you know, condition that you have to fix. Or
Willow probably should have.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as like the trauma and the PTSDs, I feel like we as characters or as players do that well enough for ourselves as far as the role playing aspect
yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
No, but they have, but you know what I'm saying, they have other things that they've done, like where, you know, you have a limp now and you lose 10 feet
Yeah.
off your speed until you rest a certain amount of time, and you know, that kind of stuff.
That would be kind of neat.
Yeah. I like that.
Let's sneak into a city and kill us a fire giant.
All right. Sounds good. Right
Sure,
after.
we could do that in
I
like
pee.
John needs to pee.
Mhm.
that's
And get some water.
yeah, good time to break.
And I just heard my dinner bell. So I'm gonna go grab some food.
Perfect.
Lingering wound. D&D 5e. Is that what that was? Lingering injuries and massive damage. Roll a d20. Nat 1, you lose a leg. Nat 2, you lose an arm. Nat 3, you lose an eye. 4 to 5 is an internal injury. 6 to 7 is fractured ribs. 8 to 10, a broken arm. 11 to 13, limp. 14 to 16 is a horrible scar. 17 to 20, a minor scar.
I'm definitely liking our Ergoon Orlak ness.
Banter coming back.
What's that?
The banter coming back. Yes.
Oh yeah. Here's an interesting fantasy trope.
Oh my God.
You need a lot of horses.
A lot of dead horses, it sounds like.
Well, you need a lot of live ones first. Then you have to make them dead. Then you have to.
Unless you happen to
Uh,
find
Have people been watching Andor at all?
Mhm.
Yeah. I have not seen the last episode.
what
There's
what
an
is that?
episode that
Andor?
came
Is
out
that on
today.
Disney?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Andor is fucking brilliant, and I am so happy about it
Me too.
personally.
For fun.
It's a breath of fresh air. It feels like it's like this is the first Marvel / Disney show that I've seen in a while that I feel like actually respects the audience and trusts them.
Mm.
I've been having a lot of fun with She-Hulk. It's
Yeah.
not like highbrow, certainly. I mean, it's not like serious like Andor is, but it's like it's fun. And it's been a
so
while, like
much
a lot of the
fun.
Marvel ones recently seem to take themselves very seriously. And She-Hulk is just fun.
It is so
I
fun.
haven't seen any of it
It's
yet.
fun. And not to mention, it's like superhumans who need a lawyer. Like that's such a
Right.
fun concept just to begin with. And then that's their launch pad and they go from there. It's great.
Yeah, and it's Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, she's
Anything
amazing.
she does,
And
everything
she breaks the
does.
fourth wall a lot,
Mhm.
but it's not like Deadpool where he breaks the fourth wall to be even weirder. She breaks the fourth wall to be like,
Like, all
like,
right,
like this last episode, she was like, "Why are you still here? This is the end of the episode." Didn't I feel like that wrapped it up? Oh no, wait, this is a transition thing. Oh my god, are we coming up to the end? And then it goes to credits.
It's like, oh no, you mean there's going to be no? There was like, it's going to be another scene or something like that. Oh, that can't be good.
When she's enough of a nerd where it's like in the show, she's asking, like the first episode, she's asking Bruce Banner questions like, so Captain America is definitely a virgin. I mean, he was a nerd and then he went to war and then he was frozen. I mean, did he have sex ever? Like she goes on this long diatribe about,
Yes.
and he's
But
like,
then
no,
you get actual
Reddit
answers.
inspired diatribe.
yeah.
Fucking great. All right. You feel much better. Get up. They've got food. Marrick Delvor and his two companions are all geared up and ready to go. They say, let's travel light and quick and try not to be seen. All right. And they turn off and head toward the south. Now.
Do-do-do!
South, you say.
Oh, sorry. Quiet. Right.
That's right. Yes. Silent.
I think Orlak and Ergoon like don't put the disguises back on. When we leave, it's just sort of like, okay, yeah, fuck it. Fuck it.
Yes.
The jig is up.
Yeah, there's definitely some of the crew members who are like, oh shit. And not used to seeing Draken, but you're kind of used to seeing that reaction, so probably no
Mhm.
big deal to you.
Yeah.
It's just speciesist. They just don't like scales. It's just racism, pure and simple. What do you mean, you people?
You can see that as the moon is starting to come up, that it looks like there's some clouds in front of it, and then slowly you realize that it's smoke from the city. And about that moment, you crest a hill and look down at the valley where Lake Belmare is and all of that, and you can see that there's fires around the front. And then you realize that those fires are alive and moving around, and there are buildings burning in addition to these elementals just moving around. And then you see this towering creature above the wall, just
So you
and
wanted to
it looks
kill
like
that.
it's walking the perimeter.
I was gonna have Aragoon do it.
You can take that, right, Aragoon?
Oh, just going by himself? Sure.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna go
Strong.
with him and help him. But he was gonna get close and I was gonna destroy it from afar. Perhaps disintegration. I hadn't decided yet.
Why not good cop, bad cop? Maybe we can talk to it.
It's hard to be a good disintegration. Bad disintegration, understandable. Good disintegration, slightly harder to convey.
Would you? Are you asking me that you want me to tell them to leave?
I don't believe we should parlay.
No.
Just kill them.
I was joking. Perhaps it was not a good time to do that.
Everybody wants my chicken.
Please.
Eat that chicken.
Mom.
You spend a couple of hours moving toward the city, and you start to notice those creatures flying above it again, and also moving around on scouting patterns near you. I need everyone to make a
Stealth check.
stealth check.
Great.
Yeah, I am
Fucking
super
20.
stealthy.
I have a +1 and disadvantage to this.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Before you do that, I know some of you have spells that help with this. Let's not forget
Yep.
about those.
We might want to cast those. So I can cast Pass Without Trace,
There you go.
and so all of you would have a +10 bonus to stealth checks. So I
You would
cast
too.
that.
You would
Yes.
too.
Yes.
In that case, I got a natural 20, which
Super.
equals a 34 for stealth with Pass Without Trace.
None of you have any idea where Eliza is.
I rolled a 31.
Nice.
I also rolled in that 20, but I have disadvantage. So
Are you wearing heavy armor or something?
I'm wearing a scale mail.
So with everything, I got an 18.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I-
only little sloshes every time she walks.
I also got a 17.
She has squeaky shoes.
+6 to my stealth.
Oh my god.
Who
+6
wants to roll for
and
Kismet?
+10?
I rolled a 2.
If Orlak was there, Orlak is like, it's I probably at some point along the line, he would have said to somebody, probably Eliza, like, scale mail. Get it?
Ah. Oh, good.
Who wants to roll for Kismet?
Although,
What's your bonus?
Uh,
I got it.
I'll look it up.
let's see. I don't have the-
I'm much better for Kismet.
Oh, it's literally right in front of me on my phone.
Nice.
What was it?
I rolled a 17 for Kismet.
And her her stealth is +8, so that's 25, so 35.
Yep. Good for old Kizzy.
So
Yeah,
nobody can see Kismet or I.
The 3 guys who are with you, the lowest roll was a 17, and they're all trained in stealth and stuff, so they're probably in the 30s too. The group of you moving through this wooded area, and not Marrick Delvor, but one of the cloaked figures. Yeah, actually, there's one of them is like cloaked and kind of looks like your typical assassin with a mask on and like very tight kind of moccasin-y shoes, and barely makes any noise whatsoever. And then every now and then you just see this figure like pop out and like do that, and then some gloomstalkers fly overhead. And then the other one who's there is also wearing kind of black leathers and stuff like that, but looks kind of burly. That's the guy from the Gambit. He looks much more like a "Hey, how you doing" kind of guy.
One of those guys.
How you doing?
He's definitely a bruiser.
Can't you see I'm stabbing here?
Hey, I'm stabbing here.
I'm stabbing here.
It's Adventurer from New Jersey.
It's great. My friend Tim, we were playing. He was playing a thief in one of my campaigns, and that was the accent he did, and I was like, perfect.
No notes.
No notes. After a good 3-4 hours, so it's a good 2 a.m, you guys reach the coast, because you've all had to move slowly and stop a lot, and you can see the walls of Mournhaven not far ahead of you, and you've had to low crawl through some grass and bushes, and they take you down this bank to the river. Actually, you can't even see under it, and the figure in the mask says, "We'll have to do a little swimming. Come." And just kind of like slips into the water, like down the bank, like almost like a slide into this area.
Do dragons swim?
Yes.
Let's go.
But fine.
Some of us not unlike alligators and crocodiles.
Ooh, I want to see.
That tail propelling them along.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fine.
I recently saw an above water, below water picture of an alligator in water, and instead of along the top, it's just standing on the bottom with its hands out, and its head popped up above the water, and it's like, oh, he's suddenly cute.
Yeah, little doof.
Cute cat monster.
They're not
Yeah.
cute. Take it from someone who grew up in Florida.
So Orlak takes some time to like put his pouches into his haversack and like his book away and his wand, like he's all the stuff that he doesn't want to get wet, like he's putting it in the thing, and he's like, okay,
And this goes in that pouch, and this goes in that pouch.
yeah.
Hurry.
Who's first?
Again,
Ergun. All right. Or Ergun or Willow?
I'm kidding. He can go first.
All right,
Mostly
Willow,
'cause I'm
you get
curious
ready to
if it
go, and Ergun just goes down the slope next to you.
All right.
The big bruiser guy is like, it's about 10 feet down. You're gonna find a hole. The water's coming this way, so you're gonna have to swim against but it's not that far after that. So just hold your breath and swim the best you can. Good luck.
Aye, aye.
See you on the other side. And Ergun's right into the water.
Yep.
Followed by Willow, and swoosh, swoosh, each one of you. I need everybody to make athletics checks.
Athletics. Okay.
A dirty 20.
I did okay.
17.
Yep, 18.
14.
14.
I have
And
no bonus to that.
and somebody roll for Kismet, please.
I did it last time.
She got a 7.
7.
So she died.
She's dead.
So
Uh,
I actually have advantage. Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
All right. You who is let's see, Kismet goes in last. She's been tagging around at the bottom. Who's second to last?
Me.
Okay.
I'm right in the middle.
You're all kind of going down, and Ergun, you hit the water, go inside, and start moving through. And sure enough, you find bars in front of you. It's so dark. Do you have dark vision?
2 dragons?
don't remember.
I don't think that I do.
I knew.
It's so hard to find, but you just kind of follow along the
Actually, I don't think they do have dark vision.
No.
Along the
Thing.
you know, the wall of the river of the lake here, and eventually you
lake
find
wall?
something that feels like bars. Yeah, you know, it's the bottom part, but it's on like a wall. There's another word for it, I just can't think of it right now. And you find what feels like concrete and bars, and you can feel some water coming towards you. And Willow, you find Ergun.
Do I need to break open these bars? Do I need to bend bar lift gates?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. But no, they've already been there's been a couple of them removed. So
Bended and lifted.
find an opening, push yourself through. Willow, you follow Ergun, followed by Eliza
Mm-hmm.
and Marrick and the Gambit guy. Orlak, you hit the water. Kismet saying, "I'll watch your back." And she hits the water with this huge splash. You can hear it under the water, and then you can see that she's kind of thrashing around a little bit.
How funny would it be if LJ comes back and we're like, we've determined that Kismet can't swim? She would be so unhappy.
No.
Like, no, it happened. Sorry. I mean,
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, Orlak is afraid of puppies and you can't swim. Or like Ergun's afraid of puppies and you can't swim. And Orlak's allergic to ice cream or something. So I'll look back to see if she's like in trouble.
She looks like she's in a little bit of trouble and headed the wrong way. Like she may have gotten turned around. There's probably no one close enough ahead of me, right?
I would say I'm close enough, and I'm also gonna say, like, I've got that crazy rope with me. So I could also see what happened.
Eliza, you're too far ahead. I'm gonna say
You're too far ahead. Okay.
Well, also you'd have to say the command word underwater.
No, I don't have to say a command word.
Think.
I thought you
pretty
did.
sure you have to say a command word for
Rope of climbing.
Ah, gotcha. Never mind.
But I'll go back for Kismet. I'll go back and try to
right.
grab her leg and be like, point the other way.
Make another athletics check.
Oh god.
12. It's not that difficult a thing for you to do, especially considering, your tail. You head back. Huh?
I don't have a tail.
You don't?
It's only Ergun.
Oh, okay.
It's a sort of a genetic throwback. Only some Drakon have tails.
Gotcha.
It's a sensitive subject, okay? I don't even know why you're bringing it up. God.
I don't know why I bothered mentioning it. You head towards the surface. You find her. You have to kind of hunt her down a little bit because she's been going the wrong direction. Fortunately, you're underneath her and you can see where the light is being blocked by her silhouette, and you grab her and she turns around with like a dagger in her hand and notices it's you, and you
That's me anyway.
give her one of these. She's like, and starts heading in that direction. Who wants to roll for another athletics check for Kismet? Are you helping her, Orlak?
Sure. I will aid another.
All right, with
I rolled a 9
with advantage.
with advantage.
Mhm.
The advantage was a natural 1, so the 9 plus whatever.
So 9, 11. Argoon, Willow, Eliza, and the other two, you all kind of swim through this tunnel. And you have to go a little bit of distance, and it's kind of almost pushing you back as you're moving forward, but you manage to swim well enough, doggy paddle well enough that you get through it, and then it kind of shallows out until you're about half submerged in the water, and you stand there for a minute, 2 minutes, no Orlak, no Kismet, and then Kismet and Orlak both come up almost at the same time.
We're like wiping like stuff off of his like scales and muttering to himself. Can't even swim.
Hate swimming.
Yeah, apparently.
And they lead you in underneath the city. It takes another good 45 minutes or so of just tromping through this. Either there's thick mud as well as sometimes up to thigh-high water. It is a hell of a trudge. Everybody make Constitution checks.
Ooh.
Is this a con saving throw or is this
Saving
a
throw.
con check?
Saving throw.
Oh my god, I'm rolling poorly for myself.
Ergun, yeah, sorry. Ergun rolled a 19.
Got 14.
7.
Orlak,
22.
22. And someone roll
Thank
for
you.
Kismet.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to that feat.
Kismet
Otherwise,
got a 19 plus whatever her con is.
Plus 6. Nice.
She did better than me.
Hey, Willow, remember how you weren't exhausted?
I'm exhausted again. Love
Yeah.
it. I love this
Yeah.
place.
This is great.
Amazing.
You can get rid of that with a
I'm-
lesser restoration spell. FYI.
I am glad that we did rest because you being at exhaustion level 2 would have been bad news bears.
Mhm.
That would have been bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. Lesser restoration will remove that.
I know. Not yet.
Eventually, the water gets shallower and shallower and eventually gives way, and you come out of this hole in a wall. You've been having to like hunch over, especially the Draken.
Did they have to return to their human form to fit?
Well, it's
It's
an
an
illusion.
illusion, so it's not
illusion,
really.
so
We're
it
not
wouldn't-
really
yeah, you're
changing
right.
form.
I didn't think through that.
And it kind of opens out into this. It looks like an ancient sewer, but it doesn't smell like one. And it's
Smells like
looks-
a new sewer.
That's right. It sounds like a brand new sewer. It's kind of tiled around there. It's very intricately carved. Obviously long ago. And they guide you through a maze of underground sewer tunnels until they get to a point in the wall where the whisper kind of moves his hand along the wall, finds something, goes shunk, and the whole wall goes and slides away. And you come inside, and in this room, which has got to be about 50 feet by 50 feet, it is almost, you'd almost mistake this for a tavern. There are
Tavern.
for a tavern. There are tables, a fireplace. There are drinks, food. It looks very cozy. And then there are more of these like archways behind it that seem to lead to other rooms that have been fixed up down here as well. And once you all get in, he hits a switch on the inside and that wall shunk back into place. Yeah, inside are civilians. You see the dirty clothing. Some of them are wounded with a few scratches. Some of them are extremely wounded. Some of them have burns on them. They're all being taken care of by people who you recognize have tattoos and like syndicate tattoos and things.
I'm sure the reaction of two Draken walking in is subdued.
Yeah, and they all kind of see you and stand up. You can see hands go to like weapons, but not like in a threatening way, more like a what's happening here? I want to be ready just in case. And
Stop panicking, silly humans.
They're okay.
Marrick Delvor says, hold your hands. We've got some help.
I mean, yes.
Let's make sure our friends can get warm near the fire, have food, drink. Most people are sleeping at this point, but or at least like the wounded are. There are quite a few people who are still look like they work here, who are still milling around. You can definitely see those of you with dark vision into the next room. It looks like there are, pads on the ground and people are sleeping. You've made it to the underground safe house. He says, give me a little time to rest, and I can take you out for a recon if you like.
Or just lead us to the giant so we can kill him and move on.
Very well. That, if you so desire, to just jump into it.
Well, lesser restoration it is.
You might see if there's someone here who can cast it on you. That way you don't use a spell slot.
I would think that perhaps anybody who can cast that kind of thing here has other priorities besides us who could do it ourselves.
Yeah. I won't bother them. They need all of the spell slots they can get. If we didn't have to kill Fire Giant, I would be helping.
We can also rest too. I mean, if you feel like it's a concern, I'm happy to kind of rest again. But
mean,
actually, no, we probably couldn't because
also.
it's already been 8 hours. We wouldn't be able to do another long rest,
Yeah.
like game wise, technically. It's only a long rest once in the game in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So lesser restoration it is.
Already on it.
As you pull off your boots, try to dry them out on the next to the hearth, just kind of take off cloaks and start just trying to dry out. You cast restoration. You kind of sit down. You're just like, oh, fuck this, and cast lesser restoration on yourself and feel the warmth. Feel you again and feel refreshed.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. In about an hour, he's all geared up, ready to go.
At the bewitching hour.
Yeah, like it's got to be 3-4 in the morning now.
Oh yeah.
It says, are you ready?
Mm.
Mhm.
It's all right. I've sent out a few people ahead of us to see which part of the wall the giant is at right now. So we can move quickly. Don't have to be as quiet down here.
Good.
Ergon's just loud.
You have to boom, 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 boom.
Yes, we shouldn't be loud.
Hey, try not to be so loud. You take off.
All of a sudden we're in Sesame Street. Quiet. Loud. Loud. Sorry.
You he guides you through the tunnels from one section of town to the next. At some point it does get a little rank in here. Dodges out of the way. At one point you see a what looks like a skeleton, but somewhat dismembered skeleton, just kind of floating in front of you. He goes, no, not that way. Gelatinous cube. Come, let's go around.
Oh, let's remember this though. A sample of that would be useful.
Certainly. There's a few of them running around these sewers, keeping everything tidy.
They don't really run. They don't have legs.
Well, metaphorically speaking.
Ah, metaphor. Very inaccurate.
Yeah. Guides you through. You meet up at one point with what looks like probably a 17, 18-year-old boy, all dressed in black, to move quickly. He's got like a dagger on each side of his belt, but he says it's right in the right at the front of the gatekeep district. She's set up there. Hasn't moved. Yeah. Viaskazi. Giant.
Oh, and is it a she or a he?
It is a she.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
This will bring us out how close?
Within a few blocks. How close would you like to get? There is a square, and in the middle of it, there's a grate. But there are also some off the side streets.
I'd like to be within 60 feet for disintegration purposes.
Well, I can certainly show you where the grate in the middle of things is, if you so desire.
Would probably be our best bet.
That way we don't have to fight our way through waves of elementals.
Sure, but there are some other outlets that are closer, but still a block or so away, so you wouldn't have to go that far. If you're scrambling out in the middle of the square that the giant is in, you're going to have to fight your way out of the hole.
No, it's fair. As close as you can on the outside of the square, then.
Very well. He kind of like takes you in, and there is a noticeable jump in heat down here. And because whereas it's actually probably around October, in game, you or actually it might be around November now. I think it was October when you were in Bogdat. You're suddenly like sweating. There's moisture in the air and heat, and he kind of takes you through, and you can see that there is an opening, and above you you can see what looks like fire burning. And he says, "That's the square." He says, "Down here, here's what I would recommend." And he takes you around a corner, down another tunnel, and comes up, or actually points up to another grate. And you can see here it's not quite as hot, and the only light above is from the moon. Looks clear.
Do it.
Thank you.
Just have to get through the lock, Willow.
We all look at Kismet.
But guys, I have a key.
Oh yeah, let's see if your key works. It'd be so cool if this key worked.
It actually would.
You know, there must be like whole campaigns that people go through, and this key never fucking works. Like it's like the 1% chance or 10% chance, whatever it is.
I think it's
That's a key
5.
actually functions.
It's 5%. A question
it.
mark is worked into the head of this key. So I just roll a D100.
Yep.
Yeah.
53. Nope.
53. Nope. Nope.
Super
Because
close.
it's like, fine, I guess.
Excuse me.
Move back so that she has room, and I don't get hit and I go get caught in the blast. I mean, what?
Whoop.
Yeah, because this is gonna be trapped.
Um, $17. Nice. She goes in there, takes a little while, about a minute, and comes off. She kind of just moves the grate aside and takes a peek out. It's clear. Pulls herself up. And pulls her swords. I assume the rest of you follow.
And when I get out, when I get outside, I summon up the crook which appears in my hand.
And I summon my staff.
Splash.
I hate when that happens.
Little salty now.
And I walk out.
With your hat that has a chicken.
No, I left the chicken with the hat. I left the chicken hat behind.
I figured.
Sound my battle cry. So, as much as I hate to say this, it's 8:45.
Yeah.
We want to wait to launch into this when next game, when hopefully LJ will be here as well.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I'm
we
thinking.
should.
Mhm.
I am in agreement.
That way we're not like getting partway through and have to remember initiative and crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, you thread your way through the alleys, following the light in the sky. You come around the corner and see in front of you, having not noticed you, standing in this town square, fire giant, some 15 feet tall, long hair and great muscles, surrounded by fire elementals who are on patrol on top of the wall. And she looks out over the wall of the city. And that's where we'll...
Oh, wait. I have
Wait,
one
wait, I got a closing.
more. No, well,
I-
wait. Oh, I know. I kind of hope we're thinking the same thing.
Okay, so Orlak and I look at each other and then
We-
kind of both go, huh, and then we both say,
All right, Ergun, go seduce her.
oh. Okay, so I'm gonna go, huh, she's kind of hot.
She's hot, yeah.
And with that, that's where we'll leave off for the night.
Yeah, I think Orlak doesn't get it. He's like,
But
it's temperature.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's made of fire.
all right.
Amazing.
It'd be fun launching into this section of the campaign.
We're good.
Thank you, boy.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
the Orlak Ergun shtick just gets better and better each time.
Oh my god.
Happy to provide.
Draken, who knew they could be so fun?
It's not his fault that like fleshlings are wrong.
Mm.
I mean,
That is a good point.
Yes. Very, very, very good.
the whole imprison versus banishment thing.
Oh my
Love
God.
that so much.
That was amazing and awful all at the same time.
Yep.
Well, like the great thing about that is that's a character that Brian made and was like, here, this guy should be in this city and
And
this
he's
is
an
what
ass.
he's like. Yeah. And so I was just like, a better person may have just said, oh, I get what you mean. Yes, pardon my language, but he was not going to back down.
No, that is not who that guy is.
Exactly.
All right, beautiful people.
Yeah, I gotta.
Good enough.
Good job tonight, everybody.
Good job, everybody.
Have a,
Good night. See you next
Thanks.
time.
have a good night.
Good night.
Be well.
Bye.
Bye.